For question 5, we're back to some algebra. So when we look at this equation, 2x squared plus 4x minus 5, we hopefully recognize it as a quadratic equation that we need to use the minus b formula to solve. We know we need to use minus b and we can't just factorize because it wants it to one decimal place, which it says here. So we're going to have to use the minus b formula to solve that. The first thing you have to do is identify your a, your b and your c. A is always the number in front of the x squared value, in this case it's 2. B is always the number in front of the x, and then c is always the number on its own, so in this case it's minus 5. So that's your a, b and your c. We're then going to use the minus b formula to solve for x, so that is minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, so then we go to sub these values into this equation. So we end up with minus 4 plus or minus the square root of 4 squared minus 4, a which is 2 and c is minus 5 all over 2a which is 2. So your equations should hopefully look like that. And then when you go to solve it, you have to do it out separately, once with the plus in the middle and once with the minus. So if you do it with the plus, you end up with x equals 0.871, and it only wants it to one decimal place, so we have to look to the 7. If it's a 5 or bigger, that means we round up, so 0.9. When we look to the minus, we end up with x equals minus 2.871. And when we round, we have to look to the 7, which rounds that to minus 2.9. So your two answers there are 0.9 and minus 2.9.